So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. gets up and says, "You know what's behind all these school shootings? Antidepressants." And the country goes, "Wait, what? Guns? Yes. Social media? Maybe. But Prozac? That's a plot twist even Netflix wouldn't greenlight."
Clap, clap. He's not the shrink for you, and he's not a doc from school, but he loves to know your dreams, even when you break the rules. His advice is not for all, big or small, short or tall. When your mind begins to stall, he might just let you fall, yet mind has him enthralled.
Felix Mindhunter is not a real doctor and should not be listened to for sound advice.
Now, I don't want to make light of a very serious subject, but sometimes you need to step back and ask, are we solving the problem or auditioning for a conspiracy special? Kennedy's argument goes like this: America has more mass shootings than anywhere else, despite other countries also having a lot of guns. So, he says, something else must be to blame. Video games, chemicals in food, and especially antidepressants. He points to FDA black box warnings and claims too many kids are being medicated without us knowing the long-term risks. Sounds alarming, right? Cue the dramatic music. Now, there is evidence that gives his argument some traction. The FDA does warn about increased risk of suicidal thoughts in kids and young adults. That's real. Some children experience activation, restlessness, irritability. Think of it as giving a 6-year-old 3 espressos, and some studies, like the infamous Study 329, showed higher suicidality with certain drugs in teens. So, okay, it's not totally out of left field. More research? Sure, no one objects to that. But then we look closer, and the data says antidepressants don't cause mass shootings. There's no evidence for homicidal ideation. Suicidal thoughts, yes, but not school shooter starter pack. The risks are small, mostly in the first few weeks of treatment and manageable with monitoring. And for millions of kids, these meds actually work. Depression untreated? That's the bigger danger. And here's the kicker. Other countries also prescribe antidepressants. Canada, the UK, Australia, rates of use are high. But they don't have our level of mass shootings. Why? Because they also don't have 400 million privately owned guns, including easy access to assault weapons. So when Kennedy suggests antidepressants are driving violence, experts say, Bob, wrong movie. Different script. Critics remind us, the warning labels are about self-harm, not violence against others. If risks exist, they're rare and usually early in treatment. And let's not forget the obvious. Guns. Take away the pills, you still have the AR-15 in the closet. It's like blaming the seatbelt for the car crash. Technically, yes, the seatbelt was there, but maybe, just maybe, the problem was the 90 miles an hour and the brick wall. So where do we land? Antidepressants are not harmless. We need to monitor, study, and be honest about side effects. But they're also not the boogeyman. For many families, they're the difference between despair and stability. And if we're serious about gun violence, let's not get lost chasing side characters when the main villain is standing there holding the weapon. In the end, Kennedy may be right about one thing. We do need more research. But until then, blaming antidepressants for mass shootings is like blaming aspirin for baseball injuries. Technically, the kid was taking aspirin, but it was the 95-mile-an-hour fastball that broke his nose. I mean, let's keep our scripts straight, folks. And if you manage to follow all that without needing a prescription yourself, do me a favor. Hit like, share this with a friend who enjoys a good head scratcher, and subscribe for more. Because unlike antidepressants, the only side effect here is more videos.
And he's not a doc from school, but he loves to know your dreams, even when you break the rules. His advice is not for all, big or small, short or tall. When your mind begins to stall, he might just let you fall, yet mind has him enthralled.
Felix Mindhunter is not a real doctor and should not be listened to for sound advice.